Hey guys, it's Ruth. I'm finally back. The reason I'm back today is there was a gentleman who sent me a very intriguing question, one that I hadn't really thought about, or maybe I didn't explain very well. He was wanting to purchase some of the beard oil, but he wanted me to also talk a little bit about what happens when you get ingrown hairs. His has gotten to the point that he's going to have to see a dermatologist because he's getting pustulas and things like that, and he just wanted some of my recommendations. This is my son Chris, who is over here to visit me today. All my children have moved out, and I've quit my job, and new career, a whole bunch of stuff has happened. But anyway, I'm going to go over some of the things that you could do for beard care, some of the things that helped him, because at one point he and his brother, like I said, had quite a few ingrown hairs. If you have curly hair like a corkscrew, and some ethnics do, it's hard to come through the skin properly, or it gets trapped under the skin, I should say, and you get ingrown hairs, which not only can get filled with pus, can turn into cysts. People that have straighter hair usually don't have these problems. They can use just an average straight razor and shave their beard, and they have no problem. Like my husband, he has more straight hair, and he uses a straight razor sometime, and he has no problems. But my son, or I should say my sons, they both have to use their clippers because of the type of jobs that they have now. They can go with a slight beard, but not a full bushy beard. So, you can trim it down where it's like a shadow instead of shaving it with the razor, because sometimes the razor cuts it so close to the skin, it loops back in on itself like a hairpin and corkscrews under, and that's what's giving you the really bad ingrown hairs, especially for black males. One of the things that we did and that I recommended for him, and it's worked out so far, buy cheap rags. These are like bar rags. They're real nubbly and rough, whereas this is a softer rag. Yeah, it looks nice and good that you have really puffy, high thread count towels, but for exfoliating your skin, which is one of the biggest things that you need to do, you need to buy cheaper towels. You're going to rough the skin up a bit, and that's going to also help to exfoliate so that those hairs can come from under the skin. So when you're washing the face or the beard or wherever, those nubbly little nubs are helping to exfoliate. And if you don't want to do that, there's a whole bunch of things you can do. You can get your brush. This one is 100% horsehair, and you can exfoliate the skin and the beard. I recommend that you do this anyway, at least every other day, because you're trying to train the beard, keep it groomed properly, but you're also wanting to exfoliate the skin. You can do that. You can do a brush. Myself personally, with me, I use my own little rotating brush. I know he doesn't have a rotating brush, but I just wanted to show you that. How does that feel?
It feels so good.
You can also go to the beauty supply store and buy these little beards. They call them beard washers or what have you, or stimulators, which he does a lot because he's always coming over here stealing them from me. You do. Real good for, especially if you have a longer beard and if you're shampooing a longer beard, because it has these little nubs in it that helps to get deep down to the root of the problem. His beard is short, so you don't see the full effect of a really longer beard, but what you're trying to do is take care of the skin. You want to get to the root of the problem. The beard is nice and fine, and yes, if it's brambly or rough or it doesn't look the way that you want, you got to make sure if you're shaving or trimming or things like that, that you're taking care of the root of the problem. One of the things that I also do, of course I'm selling these if you want to buy one, is a charcoal facial mask, and we'll have a video on exactly what's in it. It has neem and a few other things in it. There are charcoal facial masks that you can buy at the store that has a lot of stuff in it that I don't want personally, but this one also has stuff in it that's antifungal, anti-yeast, antiseptic, because you're wanting to keep the skin as clean as possible, because you're using some implement that's possibly cutting the skin while you're shaving. You want to make sure you keep that skin as clean and free of germs as possible. But it doesn't have a smell. Doesn't have a smell at all. Usually about a fourth, maybe a half of teaspoon of whatever, and with a little bit of water, make a paste, and then you're going to put it on the beard. Usually, how do you do yours? Because I also do this for my face also.
I mean, I'll usually let it sit for maybe 30 minutes or a quarter or two. About halftime, wash it off real well, and then put my beard oil on. Call it a day.
quick and easy. Make a little simple paste of it, and you're putting it on the skin. You're putting it on and you can make it as thick or as thin as you want it to be. Of course, you don't want to get it on your really nice clothes because it does have charcoal in it, so you wouldn't go get your white prom dress and off you go. You're going to rub it in the skin or mask it all over the face. Some people use a paintbrush, but I know men don't do that. You're kidding if you believe that. You're going to put the mask on and let it dry. He probably leaves it on for 4 or 5 hours. I normally leave it on for about an hour and then wash it off with warm water once it totally dries. Helps to draw out the impurities in the skin, dry up some of that oil. It's also, like I said, antiseptic, antifungal, anti-yeast, because if you are getting really huge ingrown hairs and they're full of pus, you're going to have to treat that. You can't continue to shave on top of that because you're going to get folliculitis so bad that you're going to probably have to see a dermatologist. First thing they're going to want to do is pump you full of steroids. If steroids are your thing, you know, tear it up. But me, myself, and I don't want steroids because of the way it disrupts the body. We'll leave the mask on because we're messy today. But after we have rinsed the mask off, he normally does that in the shower. Put a little beard oil. Some people do shampoos and conditioners, and that's fine and dandy. But like I said, conditioners are nothing more than oil and water. After you get out and the beard is slightly damp, a drop or two of the beard oil rubbed in really well. You can also do it with a hot towel if you have really long hair to soften it up. But for him, I also do an infused neem oil. I buy the neem oil dry bulk and infuse it in sunflower seed oil, and he rubs that in because of the good antiseptic. Also, by the way, if you use neem oil, which I know this, but some people don't, in some countries they use it actually for a spermicide birth control type thing. So just, you know, do your research. So if that's not a thing, you have it on your hand and you're doing it with your personal area, just FYI. One of the other things that you can do is rose water oil afterwards. If you are a person who shaves or finished shaving, you've done your mask, you don't want to do the beard oil, whatever, I always recommend rose petal oil. I didn't make it homemade, but I didn't this time. But rose petal rose water, and spray it on there. It's just real good for the pH and helps to soften the skin. But these are just some of the simple things that you can do for a beard, and it cuts down on all those bumps, all that infection, all that pus. You're doing things that's going to help you in a natural way without all the chemicals, the parabens, all the preservatives. And I hope that helped, and I hope that answered your questions. If you have any, just let me know, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.